Okay, I think pretty much set. Well, let me get Chad actually to pop up, and then I think we're set. But I hope everyone's doing good this evening. It's actually nice to be back here just for a little bit. Hoping everyone's enjoyed their week so far, and yeah, I just enjoyed their week. I don't really have anything too crazy to add to that. But yeah, like I say in the description, I'm going to be continuing with the Tyrsnids kill team, or just the Raveners. Reavers, I'm not sure. But, yeah, I was just doing a little bit of touch-up before stream, just working on all the dark blue spots that got missed when I did the contrast paint. This guy severely. I didn't get around doing this guy. I was only doing a couple other ones. This guy needs a lot more work before I move on to the other parts. But yeah. I am looking forward to actually getting these guys kind of finished at some point. I'm looking at all the things. I'm like, I'm learning each thing I got to improve. No. I'm looking at and trying to figure out what things I can improve. And I definitely, as much as the speed paint is quick, I throw it on very messily, and means I have to clean it up way more after the fact. So now I'm kind of like, is the speed paint really even the proper thing to do? Probably I should just slow down in the future and put it on a little more comfortably, but no, I'm not hitting these with a speed paint this time. I'm just going in with a dark blue that I usually use as my base after the speed paint and cleaning it up. Keep it on this. Oh, I got a message. Okay. I'm definitely looking forward to using these guys when they're done. I haven't played Kill Team yet, and this is, besides Space Marine Kill Team, I'm looking forward to using these guys as well. I have no idea how they actually do on the tabletop or anything like that, but I think it'd just be fun to have these guys pop around on the board, try to take out specific targets. I want to do a custom Tyrannid one as well, and I was going to before I found about this kill team coming out. But I was going to do a custom one with like a Lictor, Death Leaper, Neuro Lictor, and some other kind of Leapers. And maybe if it was needed, throw in a couple Hormagaunts in there. It wasn't going to be a very big shooty army. This, or kill team. I mean, this one's not really a big shooty kill team either. This is a mostly melee. I don't even know what units do range damage. Excuse me. I think it's like maybe only 2, if any. I think this guy does range damage, but can't really pull out the book. I have that in storage right now. I will say I'm doing better later in the week than I was on Tuesday. What's up, Hannibal? Kind of surprised to see you here this early. Usually I don't see you till like around 8 or something. Well, 8 my time, I will admit. I'm not sure what time it is over there for you. I assume you're like 6 hours ahead, but it's probably not 6 hours. I haven't changed any things, but I'm hoping I don't sound like I'm in a can right now. Nah, fair enough. I'm glad you popped in to say hi. I hope you have a good weekend. Yeah, I would more recommend going to sleep now than staying up. I'm doing better than I was on Tuesday. I. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. I don't think I have bipolarism. Is it possible to my family? Maybe. I just have really drastic mood swings depending on what's going on in my life. I feel much better right now than I did Tuesday, is how I will say. I am like snapping myself out of this weird funk I was in and being like, hey, let's start, doing a bit better here. So, I'm doing good. I think what really helped, and it was kind of weird, I was going to meet up with friends yesterday in person to like play Warhammer, but two of the friends canceled, and I told the other guy, like, hey, let's just do something on Tabletop Simulator. So, we played with another friend of his. We played Peak. Almost made it to the end. Like, my other friend's first run on Peak ever. We almost made it to the top. We got stuck in the kiln. Made it to, like, what would have been the easiest section after that. Like, we just couldn't find a good way to climb up. So, one by one, we just fell off. Because we couldn't climb any higher. And, yeah, that's where we ended. And then after that, we played Magic the Gathering on Tabletop Simulator. I tried a new dinosaur deck that I found randomly, and I won that game. I came in with my second win, actually technically my third win ever in Magic. I've won twice now on Tabletop Sim, both of them being dinosaur decks, and I've been very happy with that. I've moved away from buying Warhammer models to now buying Magic cards. So I'm trading in one expensive hobby for another, but they are decks and cards that I've been lucky that my friends that are more into Magic than I am were like, hey, here's like a Magic deck we want you to build. And I didn't get around to building it till like now. It's a red and green deck for anyone that does play. And I'm a very big red and green fan. But I think I'm going to be a red, green, and white player. But yeah, I'm feeling good this weekend because I don't really have to work. It's kind of a choice. Yeah, I mean it works well. So what we do to play it, I guess there's two like tables. There's a 4-person table and a player table. The 6-player one is better because it has more features. And you go to like a deck building website. What's the name of the one that that they recommended that I've been using? Let me pull it up real quick. Um, it is called moxfield.com. So we go to that, I copy the URL link, and then just paste it into the table, and that gets you the whole deck you need to use. It's been a lot of fun. I like playing in person a little bit more. It was fun yesterday. In person, it's just more fun to talk and hang out. But definitely on Monday when I did play with them, I was a little bit out of it. But I think that's just because of a lot of other personal stuff going on and life. So I'm having to just kind of push myself in that more positive direction. So it's working well. I don't think I'll do the like magic with the fans tomorrow, as much as that'd be kind of fun and stuff. I'm not sure how to get like rotate everyone out and stuff like that, and I'm not good at playing to know all the rules. I was asking a bunch of questions last night, so. But I would recommend it for anyone that have friends that play Magic and they're long distance, and they just want to try out new decks too. I'd say do it that way. I've saved a bunch of decks now that I want to try with them different times, and yeah. Yeah, it definitely is spontaneous. If it was to be like an anything, it would probably be like a community day thing where it's more planned out and it's certain people that I've gone through and kind of checked to make sure they're okay. Yeah, it needs more preparation. It was just like last minute, like I'm not sure what Saturday will be. I found this new fun thing and maybe like this would be a cool thing to do. I think Saturday either I'll play Space Marine 2 on Saturday or I will start my 2,000 point army list of trying to paint that in 40 days. So it means I got to paint that in 40 streams. Not 40 days like hour-wise, just within 40 streams. So I got to go through and kind of decide what models I'm going to... Actually, I do kind of know what army I'm going to do and what units I'm going to do. I'm going to do my Salamander army. And it's going to be building and painting. So it'll be a little bit of a tough thing. I think what we'll do too, I know I'm a smaller channel, but I think it'll be worth it anyways, is we'll have a little bar up above, like up above here, with different progress goals. And if like we reach those goals through the whole time of doing it, then it'll be like a big special model. Maybe, so for those that do play Warhammer or don't know, there are giant robots in Warhammer. If we reach like, I don't know, like a sub goal or like a donation goal, something like that, the final mini that we add to the army, this would put over 2,000 points, would be a knight model. Because I have a knight model that's been sitting on the shelf for quite a while, and I do want to build it at some point. And that might be a fun way of trying to get it, made. But it definitely wouldn't be the last, like, challenge thing I do for myself. Because I got plenty of these. I could do 2,000... No, I couldn't do 2,000 points. I could do 1,000 points in tyrsnids. I think everything... So, that's just kind of where I stand and kind of bouncing my ideas. So, yeah. I'm definitely also feeling a little more Age of Sigmar right now. I've been listening to a I've been still listening to those books. No longer dealing with the vampires, although now I'm dealing with a vampire in the book. But definitely need to hold my horses on buying any of those models. I think if I get into Age of Sigmar, I'm definitely keeping with the army I have, and I'm only going to get into it if like some other friends want to get into it, or there's like a big enough group that I can actually do that with. But that's about it. Okay. Yeah, I think what I got to do is I got to write down all my ideas. I do have a whiteboard that I made a while ago for like video ideas, and I think I got to use it again for video and stream ideas. Space Marine 2 would be fun because I have a co-host. He's been on here a few times. He's the floating servo skull that I have working for me. Me and him will pop on that, play it a lot, but we played the Siege mode on there. That was fun. Siege mode on Space Marine 2 is a lot of fun. And let's see, what else from there? If I really want to challenge myself, I could do 4,000 points and do 2 separate armies that are paint schemes, but that's just all Space Marine stuff. Anyway, I gotta stay good and excited about it. What I'm really kind of planning this weekend, I'm a little bit excited about this weekend, is I'm gonna go for a hike. Yeah, Ben's his name. I mean, I could call him Afro or whatever, but Ben isn't easy enough to say. Staying focused on what I was saying. Tomorrow I'm going to go for a hike. I haven't gone on a hike since the beginning of summer, and I need to go for one. There's one nearby where I'm currently living, and it's a beautiful little hike. No, not hitchhiking, like climbing a mountain. Doing it for the view. Climbing mountains for views. Not views as in videos, but like to look at other things. Yeah, you know what? That's actually a good point. I could hitchhike through the galaxy. I actually have not read the book or any of the movies. I haven't read the book and I've not seen any of the movies, and that feels like a shame. That feels like a big shame and something that I should correct. But on that topic, I don't really like the bad aliens in that movie, which is kind of what throws me off, but that's the whole point. You're not supposed to like them. Don't forget my towel, yeah. I will admit, I probably have seen it, but it felt like a fever dream watching it. It's one of those movies where, like, if you saw it as a little kid, it felt like a fever dream. And then when you're older and you realize it was an actual movie, you're like, what the fuck? Because I remember being a kid and seeing the scene with 2 little mice talking to some of the people. And then I remember the scene with the whale falling from the sky. And then I've seen some clips now that I'm older, but just the bureaucratic aliens coming to Earth being like, hey, we're coming here because we're putting in a highway. You can go to your local rep at this place. It's going to take like this many years to do it. It's like by that time the plan's going to be gone. Your bureaucracy is terrible, which that's the whole point. They kind of like feed off the bureaucracy from what I remember. For a guy that hasn't seen the movie, I know I'm saying a lot of things of the movie. But that's kind of thing nowadays where there's so much you can get on the internet and people reference things that you might not have ever seen, then you learn about it. You're like, ah, okay. So now I kind of know what people are talking about. Wasn't there like, I forget the order. If it's, I think they made a radio show, or did they do books, radio show, then TV? And like each one's different from the last, which is also kind of the point of like the Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy. Like, it's supposed to be different on purpose. I don't know. I'm just speaking words at this point, but oh yeah, if I remember correctly, the aliens that are nothing but bureaucrats, they hate things that are beautiful, so they like destroy beautiful things for fun. I remember one scene where they're like, this is on YouTube, and I just randomly found this clip. They destroyed a gold and jeweled encrusted crab that was living, and they destroyed it for fun. That's kind of what I remember. I won't spend as much time on these guys as I did the big guy. I'm reading your comment, Hannibal. You said, yes, these guys are great. They're also the worst at aiming in the whole galaxy. So they're worse than stormtroopers? Way worse. Okay. Also, in that movie, isn't there like an alien race that like can live pretty much forever? They make a supercomputer and they ask like what the answer to life is, and it comes back with the answer 3 or something like that. Because I remember like you see two little girls and the computer's like come back in like this much time and like I will have the answer, and you think like okay, like the little girls will look super old, they'll be old ladies or like dead or whatever. That's the mice. Oh, the answer's 42. Okay. And that's another thing I remember is like the little girls, they didn't age like how we expected. They were just like still little girls with like gray hair and a few wrinkles. That was the mice. It's 42. Just that's not delayed. I'm thinking back on that and laughing at it. Uh, oh, I already know for next week there's not going to be a stream on Tuesday. I mean, I could have one on Tuesday, but I figured, you know what? We'll switch it to be like a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday week. Yeah, that's pretty much how I understand it. Like, if it was a human brain answering the question, I think it'd be fine. But because it's a computer and it's going at it with logic, like, that's why they're not getting the answers they're looking for. It's kind of like the genie wish, where if you're gonna make a wish with a genie, you have to word it pretty much perfectly and exactly what you want to have happen, so that there's no way it can backfire on you or hurt you in any sort of way, and you get exactly what you want. but also supposedly out of all the wish making, that's why the computer designed the Earth as part of the simulation. That's why the computer designed the Earth as part of the simulation. So wait, humans are just a simulation while the computer is trying to figure out the answer to the universe? Wouldn't that also mean the bureaucrat aliens are trying to destroy the computer? So they're going to destroy Earth to stop the computer from being able to run its simulation and give the answer? That's how I'm interpreting it. God, that... I mean, we probably are living in a simulation, but I like to just forget about it every day so I can feel like I'm living with free will. Like, I know every choice I make doesn't... Like, it impacts me, but it doesn't... But I don't make the really big choices that impact, like, the giant important stuff I really kind of care about. But... The mice are pissed because the bureaucrats destroyed the Earth. Can the mice just kill the bureaucrats? Like, I feel like if you're that powerful of a race... I don't know. Maybe this just gets into, like, the weird prospect of it, but, like... If the bureaucrats are coming in to destroy Earth, you think the other race would come and be like, yo, no... This is our thing. Do not touch it. If you touch it, we will have problems. And if they touch it, then I would say the bureaucrats would just have no... They just won't exist anymore in my mind. But honestly, I don't know other than that. I'm asking a lot of questions, and then what it boils down to is I need to watch the movie. That is true. It is just a story. Logic does not play part in storytelling. Do, do, do. I'm going to... Now you got me going on a tirade in my head, Hannibal. And there's so much I want to say, but I'm going to hold myself back. Not that it's anything bad, but just like, do I really want to get into this topic? Like, for my own sanity, do I want to get into this topic? I feel like... Okay, so how I'm feeling right now is that Hannibal inadvertently has been doing psychic damage to me, but it's psychic damage I've done to myself. Oh, I'm thinking more on, like, the movie and then some parts of it, like, if we're in a simulation, like, I don't know how to explain it, which then means I shouldn't talk about it or explain it, because then I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. So then, like, while I'm sitting here in my brain thinking about it, I'm giving myself psychic damage on it. So I'm like, I should change topic so I don't keep doing that. Yeah. No, don't worry. I'll forget about it by tomorrow, but sometimes I just do that. It's just a loop trail. It's I don't know. I could hike. is it 7 miles? I could do a 7 mile loop, or I could do like a 3 mile loop on it. I'd like to do it with friends because I feel like hiking with friends is better than doing it solo. Plus, I live in the backwoods of a very forested area that a lot of people don't just not disappear from, but a lot of folk legends about certain creatures have been talked about. If that makes sense, like how in Germany they say like, oh, don't mess with like the fae or stuff like that in the forest and all that. Well, we have creatures like that here in legends, and I believe in that stuff a little bit, or at least there's like, there's some thing to the story. So hiking by myself is always a bit nerve-wracking. I used to do a lot more when I was a child. Take an anti-bear shotgun with you just to be safe. I could, but I don't want to make the other hikers scared, because I do know other people do hike that trail. But I certainly could. I could do something like that, and probably should. Now, and the other thing, a revolver. I mean, I do have a handgun I can take with me. That's easy enough. Like, it's not... I'm just overthinking and overreacting. That's what I'm doing here. And this is what my brain does on certain situations. I'll be fine with hiking. I'm just... My brain's going off and thinking of other things and being a giant warrior, which is what I normally like. But I'm going to go for this hike. Maybe I'll invite a friend if he's not busy. But that same friend, I also asked if he wanted to, do a board game night together tomorrow. Or at least a board game during the day. I do know I have a stream tomorrow. And I want him to try Warhammer, so I'm going to take the introductory box over and see if he likes it. I explained Warhammer to him as an advanced form of chess. Because I don't want to say Warhammer around him and think that I'm going to have him spend a bunch of money into a hobby. Also, to show off what I've been doing, I'm covering up all the contrast paint I did before. And I'm just going to do that as brown and then edge highlight. Really, at this point, it's like, why did I even do the contrast paint? Honestly, he's really good at chess and other strategy games, or I'm just really bad at them. I think it's a mixture of both. So, I think it'll be fun. It's just chess with a expensive plastic. Yeah, it is. But he's also going to be moving soon like I am this month. And he is going to be jobless, but jobless by choice. Not that he's getting fired or anything. Summer's coming to an end, so the rec that he works for, I think, will be closing. And he wanted to leave that job anyways. And the school that he teaches basketball at, he's been at for 6 years, and it's the high school we went to. So he's been working there for like 6 years. He's like, I gotta do something different. But yeah, Warhammer has a lot more lore as well. Someone suggested that I do a lore stream. I'm tempted, but I feel like if I'm gonna do that, I should do that in like Izander and Coda's way of doing it, where I have like a friend that I'm explaining it to. Or it's not a stream, it's a video that people watch. But there's so many other good lore channels out there that I think people can like learn a lot more from it. Although I am enjoying So we do have lore from Warhammer Fantasy, and now there's Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And in the book I'm reading right now, I'm following a Stormcast who's kind of remembering his past life. Like, it's a little bit hazy and fuzzy. And he's in, like, an observatory that he might have been in at one point in his past life. And that was, like, during Warhammer Fantasy or Warhammer Old World. So, like, that's a lot of lore there that has been fun to delve into. Like, I don't know anything about fantasy. Well, I know of, like, the major, like, brushstroke parts, but I don't know. I haven't read any of the books. I haven't dealt with it, so it's all a new topic and place for me. So it's kind of nice to see, like, a character who was probably from Old World and now is in Sigmar, kind of learning about things. And I love that perspective. That's a very fun perspective to learn and deal with. Do I? Yeah, I do gotta do this front section here. But I do got to get back into 40K books. Not that I don't enjoy 40K, it's just I've been dealing with 40K so much, I'm getting a little bit burned out from it. So I'm taking a break. Still in Warhammer, just taking a break into something different. Because I do want to enjoy this hobby, sometimes you need a little bit of a break. Which, on that topic, I'm also planning on taking a vacation for myself, because I feel like I need a vacation. I would probably gonna take a 4-day vacation to go camping. Because I really like camping. I like doing it with my friends, and I need to do something like that. I found a campground on the coast, an area that I like quite a bit. I want to stay there for 4 days. And it's next to a pretty nice town. Or it's nice. It's next to a nice city that has forest. So I don't know if it's true everywhere in my state, but at least with this town forced McDonald's. So McDonald's want to come into this town and put up a McDonald's. But the town was like, you can't build a regular McDonald's because it doesn't fit with the aesthetic that we have as a town. So McDonald's had to go and buy an old colonial home and pretty much fit within the aesthetic of the town. And I think that's really cool, and I wish more areas did that. Because sometimes we just get a little bit too urbanized in spots, and it ruins the charm of a place. Like, there's a place that I live near in New Hampshire, and it's got like an urban section. It's kind of like an overgrown mall, if I had to call it anything. Like, there's a bunch of big box stores and stuff like that, and like, cool, I have all this convenience stuff, but it looks ugly and there's no charm. And then you go a little bit above it, and it's got like this strip that's like still all these older style homes that are fitting within this like parameter, and it's a really big tourist spot because people like that aesthetic. And I'm like, that's perfect. I want more places like this. But just because it's an aesthetic I like doesn't mean it's an aesthetic everyone likes. And I know not every business or place can fit into that kind of thing. But if I had to like put it in the words, it'd be the small town feeling. I like the small town aesthetic. Some small towns definitely need to be upgraded, but some of them, they look pretty good. What's up, Formula? To answer your question, Hannibal, there is still a mall like an hour away from me. It's not like it used to be though. I remember being a kid and there used to be a GameStop in the mall. There's not a GameStop anymore. Um, there's still a Spencer's, but not. But I don't think it's like how it used to be. Malls are slowly dying, but we're like in a rural enough area that like this mall is kind of still getting business. It's near like a it's near a big city for where I live. But other than that, it probably will be slowly dying. Catching up to what chat's saying, Formula saying, doing pretty well. Going to play my first proper game of Warhammer some point this weekend. So excited! I'm excited for you. Hey, you know what? Tabletop Sim is still fun. I want to play on Tabletop Sim. I think it'd be easier for my friends and stuff. Let me know how it works because I have no idea where I need to go to find the army list that I want to use, or if I can just build one on like. I don't know how it works on Tabletop Sim, and I've been a little bit too lazy to do it. Oh, you're doing your Deepkin. Nice. So you're playing Age of Sigmar models. We were just talking about Age of Sigmar a little bit while ago, or at least I was. Just how I've been taking a break from 40k books and I've been listening to Sigmar books. Oh, hopefully. I mean, I know there's plenty of videos out there and I gotta do the same. It'd be kind of nice if, like, you could build a list on... This is for 40k. I don't know if they have an app on the phone for Age of Sigmar. But if you could take, like, your 40k list that you make on the app and then move it over to the tabletop sim, and then it would put it on the table for you. I think that would be pretty cool. Probably don't do that, though. Like, I'm saying the Warhammer wouldn't do that. They'd want you to go and make money. You know, that's a really smart way to, like, test out an army. If you like it or not. I was saying earlier that I've been playing on Tabletop Sim to play Magic, and I've won 2 out of the 3 games I've played on Tabletop Sim with a Magic. One Magic deck I won with once, and then I tried a new one, and I won with that one. I think I was very lucky because I was playing against a mono blue player and then a blue and white player, but they kept dealing with each other, and then I just came in with like 5 or 7 big dinosaurs, and they're like, oh, that's a problem. But I've been playing a lot more Magic, and I bought a lot more Magic cards. For those curious, I'm sure there's people that are not curious, but I'm going to tell them anyways. My current deck that I am building this is my current deck I'm building. I'm using Exaltia, the Primal Conquester, that can be flipped. The hard Counter against a dinosaur deck is Meteor Swarm. Yeah. So this is the main deck I'm using, and it has Galia in it, which is nice. It's a green red deck, but I bought cards. I bought another commander that's a white, red, and green. I bought 2 commanders, but I'm only gonna run one. But they're both white, green, and red. So I am gonna use those guys. I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'm also realizing I'm the kind of player that doesn't really pull out their commander, because like once you pull out your commander, the rest of the board kind of looks at you and makes you a target. Yeah, 3 colors in one deck. It's honestly not hard. I had trouble last night trying to get white out. I was only able to get... I had to forcibly pull a white card out once. And then I was able to, like, pull one out through the deck. I know some people that will run all 5 colors in their deck. Yes, you need 3 different lands. Forests, mountains, and plains. It's not as hard as I thought it would be to play 3 colors. Normally I've stuck with 2. But it does help if you have a card that lets you almost ramp land. There's not a rainbow land. At least not to my knowledge. I don't know Magic as well as other people. But I know there's commanders that will run all 3 colors. Anyway, I want to ask Formula. So, your GW store is doing a Spearhead tournament game? Or game in general? Because I'm curious about this contest. I've been keeping tabs on one GW store that I went to. And I know they did like a big thing for a new model that came out. And I've seen things posted about people trying to become like the store champion. Which has kind of made me curious. I don't think I'd ever become store champion, but I'd definitely try it. But I've also... So going back a little bit. I had been on a big dino kick because of those 2 decks. I remembered a... Oh, okay. Not my local store. The company itself. To celebrate Hellsmith of Hash Hut and 10 years of AOS, they're giving away some models to 10 winning entries. Really? Yeah, that's cool. Did they say what the models are in particular, or... Or is it just like you get to choose depending on like the price range? To enter, just gotta play a game using one of 2 specific rules that could even do 2 games. Oh, could even do 2 games with 1v1 rules and the other with the other rules to get 2. 1 Hellsmith army set one spearhead box of choice. Oh, yeah, the Hellsmith is the new Chaos Dwarves coming out. Also Hannibal with... I'm assuming you're trying to make a funny joke here about everything we talked about. Honestly, that's not a bad idea, making a Rodden deck. I wonder if I can make a deck... Okay, so formula says, so assuming the price of Hellsmith Army set would be £235 and 50 cents. Yeah. Yeah, that's a I give the best of luck to whoever participates and win those. That's not a bad thing to take part in. God, should I try? I don't think I'm going to make the top 10 whatsoever. I don't even have a spearhead built and made yet. Oh, so it's more a raffle. I figured it was a couple $100. 10 randomly chosen entries will win, I think. I will double check that. I wanted to go to my local Warhammer store this weekend anyways to get the mini of the month. Figure that I'll just randomly add that to my collection. Not that I should buy any more models. I'll probably just go there, buy a book, and then, like, that's it. I say that, and then you'll see that, like, oh, hey, guess what I bought? And it's another box. But no, I packed up all my Warhammer stuff yesterday. Like, all my spare models and everything. And I'm like, wow, I have quite a bit. I need to plan out what I need to paint and stuff. I'm talking about Warhammer now. If it's a... So, formula. If your Warhammer store is a GW, like actual Warhammer store, they do a model of the month. It's a very limited amount that they do. It's supposedly like the first Saturday of the month, or it depends whenever their shipping is. You should definitely go and ask. And then it'll probably be a mini of whatever like newest box set thing they're coming out with. Which I don't know when the dwarves are being made, so if it's a Chaos Dwarf model, awesome. But it could be a 40k, it could be a Age of Sigmar model. I mean, those are the only two. I've never seen them do a Lord of the Rings one or anything like that. Which, for those that don't know, they do have a Lord of the Rings version of Warhammer. Or just the tabletop, like, wargaming game. I've never tried it, but yeah. Going back to Magic, and I will physically say I'm saying going back to Magic, I'm going to take that idea, Hannibal, of making a Rotten deck and see if I can make a deck that just, every time an opponent makes a creature, it can't do anything, or my opponents get, like, poisoned. Because I do know some cards will give players poison counters, and if they get 6 poison counters, they automatically lose. It's either 6 or 10. I played a game once, a player gave me a creature with poison, and I was going to be like, you know what? Because he gave it to me, I'm going to hit you 2 times, then I'm going to move on to other players. And if at any point someone annoys me and I still have this poison encounter thing on, I'm just going to hit them one more time and then get them out. But, yeah. Disease, Rot, and Sickness? Yeah. I wanted to make a demon deck. I have a demon card that I bought that I wanted to make for a deck. Let me pull up his name. I have decks saved right now of what I want to do. His name is Tabarak's Hope of Demise. He's a pure black creature. And he has lifelink. And he's flying too. Tabarak's Hope of Demise has lifelink as long as it has 5 or more +1/+1 counters on it. And it's got another ability thing on it. So, that's definitely a deck that I want to do at some point. Why did I... I got a message from friends. I got... the same friends I was talking about playing Peak with and Magic with last night. That same friend has reached out asking if I want to play again. Okay, so going back. Bring a fart spray. And then Forma says, wait, so these minis of the month are only available the first week of the month? If I ask about it after that before, I won't be available? No, it's a limited stock. So, like, the store only gets so many, and people will go to the store when they have, like, the first chance to, and try and get one. And it's only one mini with your purchase in the store. Or that's how it's supposed to be. So just go into your store, ask if they have the mini of the month, and if they don't, when the next one will be. Because the store owners, or not the store, the managers are supposed to be like there to be very helpful. The one where I live didn't really tell you all the stuff about getting into Warhammer until I asked about it directly. As to the one I went into North Carolina to go see, he like pushed it onto me as a player. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea. And I've been in this hobby for like almost a year. And he's like, well, your local store really should have pushed this on you. I'm kind of like, I'm really sad they didn't. Which he was a really friendly guy. I'm sad he doesn't work at that store anymore. Literally the week or 2 weeks after I left North Carolina, he got fired from that store. I don't know why. But everyone was really sad. And the store, like, wasn't open there for a few days. But he now works at, like, another gaming store, supposedly, in the area. Yeah, what I'm assuming he probably got fired for, and I watched him do this, but he was telling people, like, I'm doing this, the store really doesn't want me to do it this way, but I'm doing it because it doesn't matter. I'm, like, they're still getting the money, and it's going to be back on my shelves. Is that at the Warhammer store, they have a computer that you can order from and do orders that way. So he'd be like, go ahead and make the order of, like, an item that, if there's something you want to order online, do it on the computer. If I have it here in the store, I will give you this item because, one, you've already paid for it from the website, or, like, it would go through his computer that way. And then because it's getting shipped to his store, it's going to go back on the shelf and then still be in stock. I'm assuming that might have been what he got fired for. Because maybe it was considered stealing. I don't know the whole legal thing, but that's the only way I could do it. Wait, really? Formula's name is Formula Caffeine? I just thought it was a bunch of numbers. That's actually really smart. Also going back to... Hamble said, not only that, you will be glared at with shame. I'm assuming about the whole magic thing. So, but no, that's really smart. I like that. That is really smart to do for my words. I also hope I sound okay, because I know last time I talked with Dorzo, he said I sound like I'm in a can, or like that I'm speaking into a can. I haven't messed with my sound settings. I'm just curious in general of the quality. Okay. I know once I move, I will look into getting a better microphone and stuff. Okay. God, Tyranid models are so cool, but they're a pain to paint. At least for me, I'm finding them to be a pain to paint. So, what I think happened is my computer switched my volume on the mic. I have it set at 93 volume-wise now, but before it was set at 79. I don't know why my computer automatically switches it back every once in a while, but it does that. So I am going to have to be on top of checking it every time before stream to make sure that my volume stays high. I don't know if anyone has played these games before, but I was thinking about them today. You know what video game I miss from my childhood? I miss a game called Fossil Fighters. And if anyone knows what that is, I feel like that's a very niche game. But to keep it simple, it's like Pokemon, but with dinosaurs, is how I would explain it. They made 3 games. Each one kind of going down in quality, I would say. I liked the first one. The first one was obviously the first one that I ever played. I liked the second one. I was 50-50 on it. And the third one I never played, and it looks like trash. And I feel like that could have been a really cool series, and I want another game like that. The only other thing kind of similar to it was like Dinosaur Kings, which I know they made an anime about, and there was a game, but I don't know what happened to the game, and I know there's a card game out as well. But the dino nerd in me is missing his little glory days of being able to play Pokemon and do vaults and stuff. Okay. So wait, you said that Ramley reminds you of a game that you recall, but it was an arcade game in a random large diner about dinosaur Pokemon with card elements of it. Are you sure you're not thinking of Dinosaur Kings? I'm gonna look something up real quick. See if they made an arcade game. Because there was the dinosaur things in this, they were in cards. I'm going to pull up chat real quick while I look at this. There is an arcade machine that I'm looking on. Yeah. Okay, so I was right. I was really talking about it because they made a card game. They made an anime and a card game. I didn't know they made an arcade as well, and I think they made a game for the DS. Yeah, they did make a game for the DS. I probably would actually buy that game and play it just for fun. I gotta look that up now. That's nostalgia there for me. I didn't watch it as a kid, but it was just something I remember seeing and being like, oh yeah, this is a cool little thing. Yeah, I think I have some of those cards somewhere. And I got lucky because I found them at a flea market. And they had my my favorite character from the show on them. My favorite character was the little Ankylosaurus that was on the show, or at least Ankylosaurus dinosaur. I would have sawed off an arm and a leg to have that guy as a pet. He just reminds me of a turtle, and I love turtles in general. I mean, Ankylosauruses in general are a dinosaur that I love. They're in my top 5. If not top 5, definitely top 3. And I've talked about my favorites before. I think my number 1 favorite is like Draco Rex right now. And that's mostly because of the Jurassic World movies. I love the Jurassic World movie design for Draco Rex. Let me look that up. You have distracted me. I'm going on a side quest. Oh. I thought I played it so I didn't get any ads. I will quiet that down for a sec. There we go. Okay, now it's replaying. Okay, no, that's the Jurassic Park one. I'm finding like a Jurassic Park arcade game that's almost $20,000. I'm finding the card itself for sale, but I don't see like the arcade itself. I feel like it'd be really, really hard to find. Yeah, I don't even know. It was made by Sega? Sega made this machine? Huh, the more you know. Well, I should probably get back to painting and staying focused, but yeah. No, you're good. Oh, someone. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm gonna look in hobbies in the Discord because Hannibal just posted about it. Yes, that little guy. I love that little guy. I tried to buy some cards when I was in high school, and the seller canceled. Uh, like the seller canceled my order, and I'm curious on why. I mean, it was $15 at the time to buy a pack, but oh well. I know if I try to, I looked at the prices of buying like packs now, and it's like 30 or more dollars just to buy a pack. So I could buy one, but I think it was a big gimmick at the time because I think you were supposed to buy it and a card reader, and you would slide it into the card reader, and that's how you would play the game with other people. But I remember being a kid and seeing the card packs in the store and kind of wanting them, but not being able to get any. And I've lived with that in my mind rent free for years now. But no, that's not a bad idea. Of painting up like the Seraphon and different dinosaur ideas. Which I have that spearhead, and maybe I'll do that. I'm still not sold on the design or the color scheme for that spearhead unit, which I went through. Besides that spearhead that came with like the T Rex dinosaur, I have a leader unit riding a raptor. It's like a white dino riding a raptor, and I have um, a unit of guys riding on raptors as well. Like, and I also now have. It's in the new spearhead box for Seraphon or Lizardmen, but I bought it as a Warcry separate model. But it's like that little leader guy and like the little lizards and his group. So yeah, when I was in North Carolina, I saw the Lizardman, but it was like Warcry, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And it's like kind of the Kill Team version of Age of Sigmar, but not really. So I'm like, oh, I'll buy these guys. I'll add them to my army. I think they'll be fun to play, and they still sit in a box right now, unbuilt. So if I ever do Spearhead Day, I'm building all those models as well. I do want to get some other dinosaur units though, for the Spearhead. Definitely want to get that Anki model and maybe the Triceratops. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, Hannibal. It was nice chatting with you. Hopefully you have a good weekend. Okay. Feels good to kind of geek out and nerd out a little bit. I haven't done it in a little while. You know what's a fun thing I do want to do? I was going to try doing it this year, but I never got around to it because I forgot. But I want to go on a dino dig. I want to go out west and either go fossil hunting, like in general, or sign up to join a fossil dig. I think that would be little me's dream. Because when I was a kid, I wanted to be a paleontologist, and then I realized I couldn't really do the schooling for that because I wasn't good at school. I kind of wish I continued with that dream. I think like once I found out how much schooling it was and that I wasn't cut out for it, I just gave up on it, and I haven't continued with that since. And I really regret that. So I think now I need to make young me happy and at least try and do something similar because I love fossils. If I get a chance to buy fossils at like a gem store or in places in general, I will buy a fossil. I have a few in my collection actually. I have a Spinosaurus tooth. I have a like a ancient horse bone. I'm trying to remember if I have a Triceratops horn piece or not. I don't think it's Triceratops. I think it's a Iguanodon or a Montosaurus. I have a little bone piece of. I would like to, at one point in my life, have. I would love for it to be real, but I don't think I'd ever get to that point. It'll probably be a 3D printed skull of a dinosaur. I don't know which one I want. I think I'd want a Pachy, a Triceratops, and a Ankylosaurus. Maybe Carnotaurus instead. Just as a wall mount somewhere in my house. I do follow a page on Instagram that does 3D print them and makes them look like bones, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. If I ever get a 3D printer, I'm gonna like find that STL and make it. But yeah, that is all stuff on my list. I'm going to copy something down that someone said, just so I have it for later. Okay. There we go. I'm liking how this dark brown is looking. I think I definitely found a better way to use contrast paints, at least in the future. When I was doing those models for the Trench Crusade slash RPG that I want to do, or not RPG, the tabletop RPG. I think the small application of speed paint on those models worked. Where it worked the best on these guys was because they're already so dark. It worked up there, so all I could really do is edge highlight, but probably this guy turned out the best out of it. And even then, I can still do a little bit better. But instead of spray painting them white or black and then white, just sticking with the dry brushing. I should try airbrushing one of these days again. I have one somewhere. It just takes a bit to set up. Oh, those are cool. I was just looking at someone's models in the Discord. And someone was working on some orc models. So I was liking how that was turning out. Okay. Should be very important here on the touch up and clean up part. Because it'll be a lot harder later to touch any white sections after. I have to do a different brush in this one. This is like a mini drying brush at this point because it's so frayed on the end. It's also like a cheap, like $9 brush, or it's from a $9 pack. Oh, it's my necklace. That's why I was jiggling a little bit more. Sweet. What's up, Jake? I hope you're doing well this evening. I got no chaos models for you this week, sadly. Well, I could do some chaos ones tomorrow, but I don't think that's on the docket. Glad you're doing well. I hope you have had a good week. Yeah, I know. I do have some chaos models I should paint up for my buddy, but I've been trying to complete some of my own models as well. I'm trying to complete up these guys. I got some other little not challenge, just other things in the work or thinking on. There we go. I need that angle. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to talk about right now. I've kind of said quite a bit earlier. Kind of getting into the zone of just painting. I will say these guys are a pain to fight in Space Marine 2. Whenever they burrow underground and then just appearing everywhere. I mean, they're a fun enemy to fight, but they're still a pain. Them and the Lictors. Those are two enemies I have found to be frustrating. But they're both gorgeous models on the tabletop and in-game. You know, I should go through and find... I said this earlier. I'm going to try playing with a friend this weekend for the first time, or his first time playing Warhammer, so I should find some easy beginner models for him. I mean, I am going to use the introductory box, but I don't think the models are in that box anymore. I think I have them in my army somewhere. And I'm also going to do an actual game of 40k this weekend. So I got to figure out my list there. I was going to work on the D&D campaign for some friends. I have a date for that. So for those that are here and need a refresher, and those that were not here before, I am working on a D&D game for some friends. At least a game for once a month. Like, we're going to play once a month. And I got a set date. I'm just waiting on characters. We're going to play August 30th. So there'll be no stream for that Saturday. But I'm looking forward to playing. I have an idea what my players will go against. I'm thinking of throwing some gnolls at them. Maybe undead as well. It's either going to be undead or gnolls. It could be both. It could be undead and gnolls. Or just undead gnolls. But that's what I want to throw at my players for a first game. And they're not going to be level 1. They're going to be like level 3s. So that'll be easy enough for them. Maybe. Depends on how I play. Kind of want to wait on... I'm waiting on all my players' backstory before I make, like, a big quest line or stuff like that, because I want to know what their motivations are going to be so that I can make it all work together. Not that I can't make a story, and I do kind of have a story in my head a little bit, but I mean, their main arching over goal, I think, would be to figure out what is causing, like, an undead plague in the world. That's what I think I'll make the main goal to be. And I know where it originates in the world itself. It's like in this old city. It used to be a big city until like 100 years ago. Something happened and caused this undead outbreak that started in the city and then worked its way out into the countryside. And yeah. And that is what I have for ideas so far. Yeah. I can't think of the next step I'm going to do with this model. Or at least with these models in general. And I think I'll use one of these really bad frayed brushes, like this one. It's all really soft in the front. I think I'm going to use it to dry brush on a layer of brighter blue down on the base. I might even use it to try and dry brush on the next brighter brown, because I could make every single one of these be like parade ready, but I just need these to be tabletop battle ready. Like, do I really even need to edge highlight on this model? I mean, like, probably should, but not as intense as I've done some other ones. Thinking that's coming along pretty good. Saw a little spot that needed to be touched. Might need to step away for a second. Not that I think there's really anything exciting going on. Just, yeah, I gotta step away for a second, let the dog out, and do some other little side stuff. So I will be a few minutes. Let me throw on to this. Okay, I am back. And we will switch to this one. There we go. Hopefully nothing too crazy happened. I doubt anything did, though. There we go. You know what I haven't done for a while? I haven't gone to brunch in a while. I might do that this weekend. Not that I should spend any more money, but... What's up, JJ? Good to see you in here. Nothing too much. Just slowly redoing what I already did on these tyrsnids. Other than that, I'm trying to figure out my weekend besides tomorrow's stream. What am I going to do for the day? I could have a really early stream tomorrow. You're fine. Because I don't work tomorrow. I might make this a 4-hour stream like I used to. So we might go till midnight EST, but it also depends. No, usually I stop around 10 if I do 6. So it'd be 11. Maybe we'll do that. Depends how I feel. I've stayed up late these past couple nights anyways, playing Magic and chatting with friends, so... but yeah, I was just trying to figure out my plans this weekend. Thinking of going on a little hike for my health and for my mental well-being. Gotta go walk in nature, and then... Probably was gonna head to a GW store and grab the mini of the month. Not that I should grab any more models. Oh, and moving. Moving's the other thing I'm doing this weekend, but I don't really count that too much. But I might look up a couple other things as well. I'd like to go hang out with some friends. Yeah, moving's not so much fun. But like I said on a few other streams, the house that I'm staying in is being sold. So instead of waiting around and being like, hey, you got 30 days to move out, we found a spot and we're going to move out now. And we're lucky that it's a month-to-month lease. But the hiking will be more fun. It kind of depends. I got to chat with a friend and see if he wants to meet up tomorrow and play Warhammer for the first time. I got the introductory box, and I'm going to see if he's in... if I can get him interested in playing. If not, I know Sunday I'm doing a 2,000 point game with somebody at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that won't finish up probably... I'd like to finish that up in like 2 hours, maybe less. But that'd be really quick moving. Yeah, I haven't been hiking since the beginning of summer. And I meant to do a lot more of it, and I never got around to it. So, I think that's what I'll do. I was going to hike one I've done before, but I might actually do a different one. That I've never... I've half-hiked it, but I've never finished it. So I might hike that one to try and finish it. So I think that is my weekend plans. There's just so much I want to do. I've not tried Kill Team. I mean, I'm working on a kill team right now. I want to play kill team. Necromunda, I do have some interest in, but only for like a couple of the models. But no, I definitely want to try kill team. I've been trying to get some of my friends to play Warhammer and doing it through kill team, but it's just convincing everyone to one, buy Warhammer in general, and then scheduling time to actually do it. We're all grown adults with our own lives and schedules, so it's been tough. I have no idea when it comes to Necromunda. I'm sure if people saying it's tough, that it is tough. But they got some really unique models from what I've seen. Just because they're all supposed to be different, like... They're not even aliens. They're just gangers or cultists, pretty much. I'm sure I have, like, some models already that I could use in Necromunda. Because I know there's, like, Arbiters and stuff like that in Necromunda. I think there's Gene Stealers. So, I'm not really sure. Honestly, now I'm kind of thinking about it. I know there's a Warhammer group that I can play with like twice a month. Maybe I'll throw the idea out there of like, hey, I know we all want to play Warhammer. Why don't we just, try Kill Team instead? It's supposed to be quicker. Yeah, no, I definitely know there's like a Gene Stealer Kill Team. And I know a Tyrnid Kill Team has come out. I don't know if the individual boxes have come out yet. This was a part of the Kill Team box that I'm working on. And I have plenty of Kill Teams already to do, or to make and stuff like that. So that might be something. Yeah, no, Kill Team definitely is. I mean, you're still spending like around 60 to 80 bucks depending on your Kill Team. But I have 4 of them already, so I might just have friends try those. Like every single one I build and paint is one I'll use myself or switch off with friends to use. Like once I have these guys done, I'll be like, hey, for anyone that wants to try the game, I have a spare Kill Team. I have the Kriegsman one too that I should paint up. I don't have third edition rules. I just have second edition. So I'm just going to keep using that book until I decide, hey, I'll buy third or maybe even fourth. Because, yeah, I bought the Kriegsman box because I wanted to do Kriegsman anyways. And the same day I bought the Kriegsman box, I bought the rule book for Kill Team. And then it's like a week to a month later, they came out with the new rules for Kill Team. And stopped making the Kriegsman Kill Team box. But of course, they came out with a whole new model line, so they still make it, in quotes, they still make it, but it's not directly Kill Team. Oh, JJ, were you here for the last stream when I was working on models for a Trench Crusade game / tabletop RPG I want to play with some friends? Oh, okay, cool. I did some more work on those models off stream. Most of the guys that I painted up in black. I decided that the rings around their gas masks. Yeah, the watercolor look. I'll grab the models real quick and I'll show. Okay. So, I'll bring it up. This, I don't know if you can tell what I've done on it, but I painted all these guys that have black coats. Their helmets are painted gray, and their shoulder pad armors are gray. I did the belt going around the coat, and I painted their boots a darker brown. And if you can see it, there we go. You can now see it. I did copper for the lenses and the gas mask connection points on those guys. So that's what I did off camera, and I'll keep working on those guys off camera. Maybe they'll come back on stream one day. I should probably also paint these guys in the dark brown as well. Even though I think they look the best with their brown. Yeah, I'll do these guys as well. Honestly, I could use those guys as well for friends if I wanted to, but I don't know if I'll throw those models into... Yeah, I'm very happy with the copper color as well. I probably could have gone with a gold to make it look brass, but I like the color of the orange copper a little bit more. I'm not sure if copper gets affected by chemical gases and all that. I mean, if it does, then maybe it's an extra early warning system. Not that it would really matter, but... I'll probably get the PDF for Trench Crusade and see if anyone's interested. Easy enough just to go into Etsy and buy, like, 30 Guardsman models that look pretty well good. And just turn them to look like one of the Chaos guys in Trench Crusade or what so. I'm kind of debating if I wanted to use... So I know I know on stream I've done the Space Marine kill team for myself. I don't know if I want to use that kill team if I play with some different friends. Or if I'll use this kill team. Because I made that Space Marine one to play with a buddy of mine, and it would just be the two of us. And I was going to do tyrsnids if I was going to play with everybody else. And I have not gotten everyone together yet to play. I'm trying. It's tough. Like I said, we're all adults with different schedules. Maybe what I'll do, I should just make a group chat with the people that... Okay, I'll sit one-on-one with each person, have them test play with the introductory box. If they're interested, I'd be like, okay, I will give you the supplies to play in a different style of Warhammer you do not have to play every single time as a big group. But if I make a group chat, we could play with each other at different times. Because, I mean, yeah, it's fun doing it in a group and hanging out and chatting, but maybe it'll just have to be like that. Like, once you guys have your armies, you guys schedule your games, and this is the time frame. Because I do want to do a crusade with all of them. Like a kill team crusade. Maybe the time frame I should do it is like a month. Like, you have a month to at least play 2 games. I think it would be very easy. Like, if you can play 2 games with 2 different players, that will be the crusade. Should do a terrain night, or just paint up some terrain as well. Yeah, 3D prints would definitely be cheaper for everyone to do. And 3D prints in general are just cheap. Actually, I just bought a 3D printed model. I don't know how big it is. I'm hoping it's bigger than what I think it's going to be. But I don't think it'll be as big as I think. I'm like scared I bought a model that's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. But I mean, I still bought it when it was on sale, so still not a terrible thing, I guess. Are you trying to post it in chat here? I don't know if you can post links in YouTube streams in case people try to post like a not so safe link or try to scam people out of stuff. I mean, you can always post in the Discord if you're trying to show me. And I can look at it that way. Check out only games. I think you mentioned it before. I'll do it really quick. Oh, it's a 3D printing site. I think at a summer sale? RPG characters, terrain, minis. My guy, why are you showing me this right now? This is terrible timing. Not that I wouldn't buy anything. You're just showing me in the middle of the stream. But I mean, yes, I'll check it. It's open on a different tab. I will check it out after stream now. Maybe I'll find something I'll buy. Or just have it there in general. They look like good quality minis just from like a quick look. Oh, really? They have an official site for Trench Crusade? Well, they have a tab that's the official Trench Crusade site, is what you were saying. Which is good to know, because there is a army, I think it's new something. It like starts with an A. It's not the church group, and it's not any of the chaos models. It's the only like regular human soldier army that's in Trench Crusade that I want to do. Antioch. New Antioch. And I want to grab... So I figured I use these little guys as my regular soldiers. And then I want to get some of the big, like, tanky knight-looking guys. And use those as, like, the last little models. This guy is wobbling quite a bit, and that's why. He is only glued on just a little bit. There we go. We are going to take this super glue. I'm going to have you sit right there. They do look like walking tanks. They're grungier looking Space Marines. That's honestly how I would describe those models. They're grungier looking Space Marines. And I really like how their helmet looks. That's kind of what sold me on that particular faction and model in general. You know, I'm only doing like a little bit of the brown that I was putting on these guys, and I don't really need to do that much. I'm just kind of darkening up some spots that I think really should get darkened up. And then the contrast paint like really did do its job here. So that guy is looking good. This guy's over here. Do I really even need to with this guy? Probably just touch up like where it's gone white a little bit underneath. There. Okay, JJ says, on a different note, you mentioned Terrain Night. I received a copy of Game Workshop's 2003 book of how to make wargame terrain. I'm so... Oh, nice. I saved up so much material to build my own terrain, and I never got around to building it. And when I moved the first time, I had to get rid of, like, so much stuff. But now, I still have some stuff saved up, and I also got a bunch of free terrain as well. And I need to paint up. I don't have to paint it up, but I want to paint it up. I got a sponge, and I started painting up one of these pieces. I know it looks really white, but it goes from a light or a dark... It goes from black to a very light gray. And it looks like a, it looks like a concrete building, which is what I was going for. This lighting is not the best for it. What if I show off both of these, what it does? Okay, this is better lighting the show. This is what it looks like. I know it looks patchy and blotchy, but I mean, you ever seen a concrete building? It doesn't look all uniform colored. And I just did those with regular dollar store craft paints. But I have to, like, pick a day and make that be my terrain day. That's the hard part. We're going to continue with this. I do want to take a bunch of the terrain I do have and make, like, a diorama board to play on, because I have that much terrain I can do that with. Now, the fun part. That's not bad. I can easily find, like, a dollar store spray bottle, and I've made a homemade wash just using black paint and soap and water. So yeah, that would probably be the cheapest and easiest thing to do. I bought a $20 airbrush to paint up terrain as well to hopefully make it quicker for myself, but I just haven't gone around to doing it yet. You just did it on a 3D printed train station. Oh, nice. I'd love to see some photos if you have any. What brown do I want to use? I do have the leather brown, but I think I'd rather go with my more... I'll do a mixture of these two. This is a more redder brown compared to what I was using. No, I'll use this one first, and then I'll do a mixture. I'm looking... Oh, you said I will post some. I play skirmish games called Dead Man's Hand. I have a whole town and terrain set up. Or train set up. That sounds cool. I like that. I like that idea a lot. Oh, fuck. No, I shouldn't do the brown. I should do the blue. I'm not hitting it yet. I'm just seeing, like, how much will I overhit the models if I'm not careful. I think I will overhit it quite a bit. Don't need that one. Give me this Regal Blue that I want to use instead. But at least I have that brown in there for after this. And I'm just not taking one of my makeup brushes I have. I'm taking a very beat up paintbrush and just getting most of that off. I always keep my eye out when I go like to a thrift store or a flea market, see if there's any like kids toys or terrain or just random things I could make terrain with. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can tell. There's the dark blue, and then you can kind of see a brighter blue that I just dry brushed on. It's just a little detail. I'm just still trying to use up whatever I have on here for the rest. I probably will still edge highlight, but maybe this saves me from having to edge highlight as much. What's up, dead man? You are catching me in the middle of working on the Tyrannid kill team. I'm currently trying to dry brush some blue or a lighter blue on these models. Yeah, I know when they hit the shelves, I'm grabbing another box because I want to make two more. Well, I want to make another one of these guys and another one of the Wreckers because these are my two favorite models from the kill team. And then I'm going to turn the rest into regular Tyrsnids. Or regular, like, Ravener Tyrsnids. Is it Ravener or Reaver? I think it's Ravener. But I think I have a gut feeling that these models are going to come out soon. It's been a few months since the box got released. By the way, I know I should actually be using a proper dry brush board, not just a paper towel, but it's all I have right now currently, and it works fine enough for what I'm doing. But I think pretty soon they are going to come out with the regular box. Can I see in the camera? Should be really that long, October or November? I thought they'd come out with them a lot sooner than that. What month was it? Was it like July or June where they came? No, it was July when they came out with the Kill Team box. So yeah, maybe I am a little bit wrong. I don't know. I just had this gut feeling of like they're going to be coming out soon. I'm not really that concerned about damaging this brush, if you can see the bristles. This brush came out of a $9 like paintbrush pack. It's like one of the cheapest brushes I have. So I'm okay if I destroy this brush. And the only other brush I use for actual dry brushing is a makeup brush. So whatever brush gets too well worn or used becomes a dry brush. I will say that this blue is a very good choice. I'm sure like actual dry brushes are good and all that, but if all my brushes are just going to fray out over time anyways, I have an endless supply of dry brushes. Why do I need to buy more? I mean, I hate it because it means I have to go buy actual brushes again, but yeah. Good to know, because I thought about buying some of those Army Painter dry brushes. That's true. I am trying to do it with care. Like every time I clean my brushes, I try to put a point back on them with the soap, but I don't have any brush wax, and I need to look some up and buy brush wax so I can actually get it, like get the point back on my brushes. There we go. Well, good to know that they're just mid. I don't know if I really need to. Actually do AK from Amazon. I will look up that product after stream. Okay. I'm going to hold up another model I have and show the comparison between the dry brushing and non-dry brushing. Let's see if I can get the light to look correctly. Okay. This is not dry brushed. This is dry brushed. You can't see as well detailed on the phone camera, but you can definitely see the blue pop out. And that's pretty much exactly what I wanted to have happen. I will look up that brand as well. I just keep using Army Painter brushes because it's what my hobby store sells. Like for my good brushes, they do have other ones. I think they have like Vallejos or they have Pro Kills. I'm happy with the difference, and I think they do look good. I'm just looking at it, trying to think if I can save myself a step in painting. Like, could I still edge highlight them? Yes. Do I have to? I don't think I have to now because I'm doing this dry brushing. Okay. Good to know. Because I don't clean my brushes after every paint sesh. You'll notice I constantly keep dipping it in water. And then I clean off the brush, which is what made this look so nasty. Did I even hit the face of this guy? I don't think I did. Yeah, I haven't really looked into different, like, brushes or care supply or anything, and I think I should. And I know you guys are giving some good suggestions, and I will look into those. That's literally what I do. Like, most of the time, to make my brushes last to, like, a couple paint sessions, I clean them in water, which this is my paint water right here. My little brown shot glass. And then the paper towel right there. And then when they get so bad that doesn't work anymore, I then go and hit them with brush soap. Brush soap. And clean them that way. Oh, I need to practice more with my airbrush. I bought a $20 airbrush just because I'm like, I'm not going to spend $100. I'm only going to use it for like terrain and big stuff. And I'm okay, like, spending something cheap. I'll get better and then buy something more decent. I used it once and I tried to thin down some paints I had, and I was just not able to do it right whatsoever. So I haven't practiced with it since. I bought a couple of airbrush paints, like specifically for the airbrush, and I need to do those. Or use those, I mean. It's not a compressor. I mean, there is a little compressor. It's literally a $20 handheld one that's like this big. It's got a little motor compressor on the bottom and the setup on top. Like, it's cheaper than cheap. I yeah. I did do the research into the different brands and all that stuff, and I was like, for the amount of maintenance that's going to come into doing this, I know I'm going to break it, and I'd rather break a $20 one than break a $100 one. What's up, Dorzo? Uh, yeah, I mean, airbrushes are good and have a purpose with it. It's like the brush is the shovel, but then the airbrush is like an excavator or any heavy machinery. I will buy like $100 one at some point. Yeah, and I don't use an airbrush a lot. Like I'm doing a lot more of like brush paint stuff, or all the painting I've ever done has been on stream. At least most of it this year. So it's been like to set up an airbrush is a lot. That had no paint on it whatsoever. You remember doing faxes back in '06 by airbrush? Oh no. Oh. God, that '06. I was just like entering elementary school proper. Oh, Carnifex. Okay. Oh, I missed a spot with the brown. Try to get as much. There we go. Goblin Reclaimers. That sounds pretty cool. Oh, I wonder if you could paint. Could you paint the goblins up as trash pandas? I think that would be really cute. For one-page rules, it could be, I guess, for fantasy or sci-fi, depending on what they are. It's not a Game Workshop thing. If you don't know what one-page rules is. Okay. I'm gonna probably. Yeah, it's at the point that I don't need to use the little palette thing. Need to give myself some more paint on that palette. I'll do that in a moment. I gotta check out One Page Rules sometime soon. See if there's anything that I'm interested in. I'm sure there is. An ever-growing list is a fun list. But I understand what you're saying. Yes, the sci-fi lizardman dino guys. There we go. Now it's a little bit brighter on that. You look a skirmish guy. Fair enough. I'm going to move away from, like... Okay, no, wait, hold on. Dorzo brought up narrative stuff, so now I am going to pop into this conversation. I was going to move away from skirmish games for a second, but... you just started, and we played a narrative campaign for Quest. How was it? Was it any good? Is it, like, something people should look into, or not so much? Oh, nice. Well, that sounds like a really good system then. Or it's good that you put it on a 10 out of 10. Definitely, I'll have to check it out then. Okay, so you're not playing against other people. You're just playing like a wave style system. You know what I've been getting a lot of in my like YouTube Shorts feed? I've been getting a lot of like the Venture Bros in my YouTube feed. I feel like that's a show I definitely want to watch. Sad that it's canceled now, but I think I'm only sad because there's no new episodes to watch. The story's finished in a way. You played a co-op game, 4 units following a narrative. I think the campaign is into the frontier. They announced the first few missions. Missions will free to try soon. Okay, nice, nice. I like that. I'm not getting like enough paint to come off the brush. I'm taking too much off. But I don't want to do so much that it looks bad. Okay, that's better. It's more what I'm looking for. Okay. Hopefully it works for you, bud. I don't want to ruin the paint job you have. And I did too much. I did way too much. That's way too blue for that spot. I didn't dab any off, and that just... It's fine. It's not that bad. I'm overreacting. Good night, dead man. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Hopefully work goes well. Probably be on here for another hour, maybe, depending on how tired I get. I feel like I've made some good progress tonight on these guys. I made actually some really good progress. I was going to do the brown, and I wish I did the brown, but I'm also glad I did the blue. I don't have to do it as hard because I did the contrast paint before, and where I did dry brush it white before, it kind of pops through already as highlights. So really I'm just adding on top of everything. I'm excited to use... Oh, what? Almost lost my microphone there. I have it sitting right there now so people can actually hear me a bit better. But it's kind of in the way a little bit. What was I saying? I'm excited to use these guys on the tabletop when I get a chance to. Almost. Oh, I forgot to do the back brown. I forgot that entire... Yeah, I mean, I could just set it here and have it right in front of my mouth and talk to you guys. Because normally, like I said, it's like 2 feet away. Also, the other thing, and I've said this before, my computer, every once in a while, will turn down my mic volume. I have it set from like 100. I set it to like 93. And it turns it down to 79 or lower. And I'm like, why do you do that? What makes... Like, why do you change? And I think what it is if I install a game and it asks, like, do you want, like, the game to change some settings in it? And I give it permission, it changes it that way. I always think that song that finishes is the end. And then it leaves me in suspense for when these little flutes come in. I love this, like, snaky body that these guys have. Also, this blue, I wish it showed up better on camera. But it almost is like a bioluminescent style effect on the model. Which I think works really well for the darker colors. Okay. I do want to hit your back just a little bit because you're not painted blue. I just want that little bit of color. Because there are certain parts of this model you can see it better that way now. There are some parts of this model that are still black. Because these are the ones that I dry brushed. I spray painted black and then I dry brushed white on top. And I left a few spots like here still black because it was the most dark area. But now I need to hit that with the brown. Because I mean, shadow wise, for me, you can't see it because where my lights are at. But you can see that's like at the base of everything. But I should make it a little bit brown so people can see it. But yeah, here, I'll hold up. This is the only one that hasn't been done yet. I'll hold up the first one I did up to the camera to show. Like this guy. You got his blue there. I do need to work on the green on all these guys, but then you got this guy. The brown in this lighting almost looks black. But I got to add the brown color highlight. But this almost looks like Ouroboros' colors a little bit. I'm sure if I did just black, it'd be fine, but I'm going with that brown look. And then we'll also just bring in this guy. The one that started it all. Oh, his tail's so long, it's in the other models. The guy that started it all. He's been sitting on the side the entire time. So just to show, like I did before, this is not dry brushed. But this is just prime black, dry brush white, and then contrast paint on top of it. Contrast, speed paint. So yeah. I'm very happy with the big guy. I like how he turned out. Definitely wish I sub-assembled him for a lot of the parts, so that he would have looked a little bit better. Okay, now we go there. Sorry, I just had to crack my knuckles there for a sec. Okay. I hope you guys are staying hydrated and all that. Taking water breaks, getting up, stretching your legs. I'm saying that just as much for myself as I am for any other person. Because I care about my community's health. I want to make sure everyone is staying happy and healthy. I think you're the one that probably needs the most water because you work in a goddamn metal factory. That place must be hot as hell. You guys. I drink a lot. Actually, no, I do drink a lot of water right now, but I will drink a lot more tea. I'll get into really big tea kicks. I know that's better than coffee, but it's not good for your teeth. Just with the staining, at least. Eight bottles a shift. How many liters are in a regular bottle? Because for me, like, when I go to work, hold on. And Swampy, you need to change that. Sorry, excuse for paint water, my friend. I just refilled this water today, if that's what you're talking about. I just refilled it clean today. And because of the brown that I was painting with, it made it that dirty before. 16 ounces. How many ounces are in what I drink? I'm just going to show it real quick. This is what I drink within a day. This is a 101.4 fluid ounces. It's like a gallon. I'll switch out my water tonight again. What I really need to do is clean that cup. But like I said, every once in a while I'm going over here, I'm cleaning this brush, and then I'm wiping it off. It just got dirty this paint sesh. It's not from multiple paint sessions. I will not clean it out for a while, and the water will evaporate over time. But today I decided to. $28 grams to an ounce, that's all I know. I just know the rough, like, estimations for, like, size and all that. I just buy a gallon because I know if I drink a gallon for the day, it should be enough for what I do for work. Sometimes I go through 2 gallons. I've never done 3. Definitely 2, though. I just want to... I don't know. I've only gotten heat exhaustion like once in my life so far, and I never want to go through it again. So I've always just tried to stay on top in the summer. Hey, yeah, if you can get some painting in, get some painting in. But I know unpacking from a trip still does take a while. Sometimes you still pull things out of the suitcase because you are like, it's just easier to leave it in the suitcase than it is to take it out. Okay, I'm just going to hit a little bit here and there. Okay. This guy is done. I'll hold up to the camera as well. What's up, Nicholas? Hope you're having a good evening. I'm just finishing up dry brushing blue on these tyrsnids, and now I'm going to move over to the brown. But before I do that, I got to hit a spot real quick on one of these models. JJ said earlier, I painted a sweet necromancer yesterday for an indie skirmish game. She looks wicked. Nice. Thank you. It's been a little bit of a hassle getting them done here and there. Initially, I tried to get these guys done in 8 hours. I was able to get, and that's from build to finish painting. I was able to build them in 4 hours, and then I got like them kind of painted within 4, not even all of them. So now it's just been like whenever I feel like pulling up a model, I'll paint up these guys. Dorzo said, bought a sweet Snorlax poster, had a small mailbox home. It was too big. You posted the art. Okay, hold on. Oh, you posted an art. Oh, that's a cool Snorlax. I like that. For anyone curious on where I'm seeing the art and where these people are posting it, I have a Discord that is completely free to join, and that is where they are posting it in the Discord there. So if people just want to be a part of the community, I have that there. I am not hiding it behind a paywall. I thought about it initially, but I'm not at a point of doing that for myself, and it's also not fair because there's some very cool and interesting people here, and this is a very awesome community that's been coming together here. So I wanted to make it as easy as possible to chat with everyone. Yeah, the Yakuza Snorlax is a very cool design. I will admit, I look at myself as if I was going to be turned to a Pokemon, probably would be a Munchlax or Snorlax, as much as I wish it was something else. I just know, like, oh, how I am as a person, I'm going to be turned into a Snorlax. I think most Americans would be turned into Snorlaxes, actually. Okay, let's give this guy the dry brush with the brown finally. Did I not even... Excuse me. Wow, there's like no difference between that whatsoever. Let me try doing it without dry brushing. Oh, there we go. Not putting it onto the thing. Squirtle is my spirit animal. Been ripping Squirtle Squad since I was a kid. Spheal is such a cute Pokemon. It's one of my favorite ones from Gen 3. Yeah. I think I have to change up the brown. It dries too much and blends in with what I have already. My favorite has always been Mudkip and Swampert. And I'd like to be those if I had to choose to be turned into one. Not that I want to be turned into one. I like being a human. Being a human's pretty cool. I get to have thumbs. I get to paint. Damn, that honestly sucks so that red doesn't really work out too well. I used Spheal's Final Evolution in my Omega Ruby playthrough. And he was such a beast of a Pokemon. Come on. Don't. There you go. There's some brown. We're going to mix the two browns I have here together and then go from there. Yeah. Yeah, Charmander does do that in the rain. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's add a little bit more of oak brown to that. That's what happens. I start mixing them together and I get so much paint that I have a big spotch on my wet palette. I might have to buy myself some more of those ruddy browns to get a more orange color that I want. Yes, I do play TCG Player. I need to actually open up my 2 packs today. I was opening up the Shining Silver packs to get like the full art Giratina. I finally pulled it out of a pack because I've been opening packs for a long time to try and like get it. I was either gonna get enough points to buy it or pull it from a pack, and I got it from a pack. And I just started pulling cards again with Lugia and Ho-Ho being the legendaries right now. They fixed the Ho-Ho art? What do you mean they fixed the Ho art? Like, what was wrong with it? Look it up. Okay, I will look it up in a moment. It was a really big thing. Huh. Let's see how it looks in the camera, if that's even noticeable. Barely. The art for the full art was broken. Okay. TCG. Full art. Interesting. Oh yeah, I think my Dorsa says, "Oh yeah, I think my friend really liked our wargaming. He just bought a 3D printer." Oh no. He's gonna be printing off so much stuff now, isn't he? Well, at least it gives you another person to play with. So, that's not too bad. I can see a difference, but it's so freaking light. You know what? I'm pulling out the big gun. I'm pulling out the orange. He said he'll work on terrain. Yeah. The brown's not appearing as much as I want it to on the carapace. So I guess I got to pull out this brighter color. And go with that. Oh, Dorzo, I've been buying more 3D printed stuff recently. I bought myself a 3D printed dragon turtle. I'm waiting for that to come in. I'm hoping it's like bigger than what I looked up. I will be really sad that if I only bought like a 3-inch, like, tall model, because I want this to be like a really big thing that I can just like have sitting on a shelf somewhere. There we go. Now this is getting brighter. Like the model or like an actual animal? I'm hoping you... Oh, yeah. You did say you were doing a diorama a while ago for that stuff. I was kind of hoping like you were actually buying these animals for yourself as pets. You can shoot me a care package whenever. I have my P.O. box posted um, in the channel description now. Not sure if that's the safest spot to have it, but it's there. If people want to send me mail, they can send me mail. I will make sure to open it in a public place and wearing a respirator. And probably also a biohazard suit, just in case. Honestly, if I get enough mail that's actually like good mail, not threat type stuff, I'll open it on stream. It's not a post. Like I said, it's in the description of the channel. It just appeared one day. Yeah, if you go to more and you the mailing address there and who it needs to be made out to. So, excuse me. I don't know. I was going to have it on a Google Docs that would have been a link or something like that, but I'm like, why do it that way? I think I can just do it like this, and it should be fine. Until I'm proven wrong, that's how it will stay. I'm putting a lot of faith in the internet, and that's not always a good thing. But I did make sure to put my P.O. box at least, like, 2 towns away from where I actually live. I wasn't able to see, like, the controversy that people were having with the art for Ho-Ho. I'll have to, like, look at it directly later or watch a video or something. Like, I wasn't going to watch a video on stream about it. Print whatever you want. Even if you got failed prints that would work as, like, terrain pieces or whatever. I mean, more or less useless for yourself, but you don't have to print me off anything. It's fully up to you. And no one has to, like, send or do anything. Oh, and I will say this now. I'm thinking tomorrow's stream will be the start of another challenge for myself of trying to build and paint a 2,000 point army. I'm going to do a 2,000 point salamander army. I have the models for it. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I mean, you can, like, sell the failed prints off as like Warhammer terrain or other things to people online. I've seen it on Etsy before. Like, people do it. Oh, that was too much on those claws. Way too much on those claws. Why did they do it that way? Huh. Just new art coming soon. Maybe it was like AI generated art and people flipped out about it, or artists not being credited. Just normal artist drama stuff would be my assumption with that. Ooh, that is a very bad thing. Um, so it's not so like hard sand. Is it more like sandstone or just soft sand that just is sticking together kind of hard? It was copied. Okay. And that's just talking about the Pokemon card for people listening or people watching back. I think like desert hard sandscape. Okay. So yeah, it's pretty well ruined. Okay, here we go. If I can just do this guy in the brown tonight, I think I will be happy. That is way too much paint. No. Oh no. And I'm still going, making it worse because I think I can save it, but I don't think I can. That's fine. I can live with it. These are my models. They're not competition pieces or anything like that. But, you know, I've been weirdly getting ideas of trying voice acting for a bit. I'm not going to do it because I don't think I'd be a good voice actor whatsoever. But, like, I'm getting things from, like, I scroll through Instagram. I'm getting things from, like, voice acting. I'm getting things on YouTube about voice acting. I'm like, why am I getting this stuff about voice actors and voice acting in general? Although I have been seeing, besides like TV shows and stuff like that, I've been getting stuff from like Dropout, if anyone knows what that is. Mostly from like Dimension 20, if you know Brendan Lee Mulligan and D&D and all that. But I guess they also have like a show called Game Changer, and they're doing something of like the million. Oh God, what was it? Like you answer questions and you get money for each question you answer right up, going up until like $1 million. I think. Is the name of the show "Do You Want to Be a Millionaire"? I think they're doing that on the show, and I'm watching it now like randomly. I'm like, what? What is going on here? My doggo is watching me. He's judging and watching. He wants pets, and I know it. JJ says, I tried voice acting avenue, built a sound booth, bought all the equipment, attended online classes, way too long. The technology ended was what did me in. Oh, the technology ends what did me in. I'm not a friend of technology, nor it me. Yeah, I'm sure there's like a lot you got to do of like editing your voice after and so much more sound equipment stuff. It's not just like reading off a script. Making some abridged series. Yeah, you could do that. You could make like an abridged series. I am not going to start the music back up because I don't know how much longer I'll be going for. Honestly, oh my god, like seeing Sword Art Online abridged or like any of the other animes, those are always funny as hell. I know they're a lot of work, but god damn are they funny. I've always wanted to do skits with friends, like so much more work than you thought. It's not just sitting in front of a camera and like editing your voice. Even when I do actually post videos, I do all my voice recording in Adobe, or no, not Adobe, Audacity, and then I go through and I just kind of I pretty much get rid of the background noise, and that's all I can do. I'm sure I could do more than that and make myself sound much better. Okay, I'm going to go to other hobbies and check that out real quick. This reminds me of a TV show I watched as a kid. It might have been a TV show. I don't I know they made it as like a bunch of different TV shows and stuff like that, and they made toys of it. But it was like people were riding dinosaurs and they had like armor on them, like laser cannons and other stuff like that. I have no idea what the name of it was. I had one of them, just one, on VHS, and I'd watch it over and over again. And I know they made toys for it because I would see some of the toys. But that's about it. Anyway, just because I have this one model done. Oh, Lord. Yeah, was it Dino Riders? It might have been Dino Riders. Let me look real quick. Well, I have a sec. It was Dino Riders. Oh my god. This is the second time I've brought up like an old dinosaur thing tonight. God. Yeah, I remember seeing that as a kid. That was Dino Riders. That is an old memory right there. God, Dino Riders Abridged. That'd be kind of funny as fuck. At least to me. Anyway, I'm going to call it here tonight. We got this guy pretty damn close. I don't know how well you guys can see the brown highlights. Probably not that well in this light or in this model here. I'll try to actually have it to the side. Brown's been pretty hard to dry brush on. I can see it here in person. If I hit it with another lighter color above that, it'd be a lot easier to see. But anyway, like I said, that's all for tonight. Tomorrow will be the beginning of the 2,000 point Army for Space Marines. And we're going to build and paint them all within 40 days. That is the challenge I'm doing there. I will probably give myself a day to continue the kill team for those that want to see it finished and done. So that won't take up a day and all that. But yeah. While I'm doing that, I'm thinking up above like here. I have it posted what time tomorrow. I'm going to be starting at 6. So I'm going back to that 6 o'clock, but it'll be on a Saturday. I'm going to try posting on YouTube at the beginning of the week what my stream schedule is. So keep an eye on that. That will have my whole week scheduled out. But as I was saying, I'm thinking what I'll do is a little bar up here. And I don't know if it'll be like a subscriber count or if it'll be like a money goal count. I'm not really sure or whatever. But for each like one we get, it can be a new model added to the army. And where the final goal being, I will add a knight model to the Space Marine army. That will be like the last, if we get there, that's the big goal. Yeah, and thank you all for being here. For all those that are new and want to be part of the community, I have a Discord. It's completely free. It's in the description of the channel. And if you want to support the channel in another way, I have a Coffee account that you can donate to, but there is no need to as well. Just having you here, comment, liking, and being a part of the community is more than enough. With that all being said, go out there and make something awesome. I know you will.